Good afternoon, 17th of May, 1:30. Temperature's supposed to be probably about 13 to 15. And this is another garden update. Pansy's growing well. Not an awful lot of colour in here as yet. I hope to plant some sweet pea up the back. I've grown it from seed, so it's not big enough. They got a few sunflowers in here, and this one has been eaten to bits. These are going to flower. Don't know what they are, I haven't a clue. More sunflowers over here, and Antirrhinum up the back. I haven't a clue what that is. Or that. This is our gazebo, and we painted it. I got it out of the Secret Garden and kit, and the boys came and built it for us. But they didn't paint it, so I had to give it 2 coats to match in with the planters, and a bit of a job, to be quite honest. Tanya wouldn't let me do the roof. She did the roof because my arm, shoulder problem. Right, coming on over to this planter, I had to empty this planter to move it. So whenever I filled that with soil again, I put in a whole lot of wooden, what you might call wooden bricks in inverted commas, down the bottom to lessen the weight of the soil, because it was so heavy to try and move. You couldn't move it, so I had to empty the whole blooming thing. Anyway, and it needed moved to get the gazebo in. I had planted 12 sunflowers in here, and you can see that there's only 3 and 2 or 5 left. And I came out one morning, and to my disgust, you know, this is what you were finding. Wee sunflower there, another one back there. This is the remains of one here, and the other ones have pulled out. And something has nipped those, either a snail or a slug. But what can you do? These are various, that looks like sweet pea up there. These are various, there's Antirrhinum, and there's all sorts of stuff. I'm not quite sure what it is. Anyway, we'll see when it gets a bit bigger. This is Hosta from Chris over in northeast England, and it's doing alright. More wee pansies, nice and colourful. And you will notice as I walk round that there's a lot of buckets with potatoes. Now these buckets, I put a single potato in there, and you have to, those are orange lilies coming. All the daffodils and all the tulips are past it. These things here are poppies of some description. But what I was just talking about, yes, the potatoes. I put 1 potato in each of these buckets, and hopefully I'll get 5 or 6 pounds, maybe more. And they're different varieties, and I have them marked on the buckets, but unfortunately I've mixed a lot of the buckets up. So I don't know what we'll be getting. These are all wildflowers. Don't know what they are. Orange lilies here again. Wildflower in there. Big daisy type thing. And these are American poppies, I think. These are the remains of the bluebells. A few nasturtiums in there too. Antirrhinums. Wee firs. And the wildflower plots just here. And this is again Chris's Hosta, which I thought was dead, and I told him it was dead, but it's not dead. So it revived itself, but I had to throw more slug pellets in, because look at what you're getting. You know, the slugs go daft for these things, and I don't want them ruined. I can't remember the name of those red stalk plants. They're shrubs. This is snow and summer, and this is all my wildflowers with a rhubarb stuck in the middle of it, and again bluebells. Had to paint this as well. That's a beach in a bucket, and more sunflowers. These ones weren't eaten by the snails and the slugs, thankfully. I think that's boar eyes, not too sure. That's a buddleia. It's not brilliant. And this is a hydrangea, and it's not brilliant either, but we'll see how they do. This is a lovely wildflower here. I like this. And it has produced quite a few wee purple heads on it. So coming along in here to the wee alcove, had to rebuild this planter here and put it together again, empty it and put it together again and refill it, because it was falling apart. Do not use any nails when you're building a planter. You have to use screws. So we have learned our lesson, and I had to rebuild this one as well, empty it as well. The pansies are going daft. And the ones in the kitchen window going daft as well. Oh, lovely. And there's sort of like carnation-y ones there too. So I'll just dander up the back and let you see what's going on. It's a bit overcast today. This is typical Northern Ireland weather, you know. But we have had a good run of good days. Don't know what happened to these two buckets. Don't know. There hasn't been any life, any potato leaves coming through at all. Whereas in all the rest of them we're getting life. Bought these up at Braeside, up behind Hillmount this morning. If you want cheap and cheerful, you go to Braeside. The nasturtium's going absolutely daft in this planter. There's a big poppy thing coming there with a wee bit of snow and summer trying to peep through. You know, why do you get so much growth in one planter and not another? I think this is because it gets plenty of sunlight and it's quite sheltered. More spuds. And Tanya was up. This is Virginia creeper. And Tanya was up wandering about as she does at 4:30 in the morning, and she looked out and she saw a rat running about in this planter. And whenever he stopped running about, what did he do? He climbed right up the trellis and up along the wall. So if you've got a trellis in your garden, you can bet your bottom dollar that it's a rat motorway. This is two jasmine, one here and one here, and this is the bride ox orda, and it really flowered well. It was a glowing success. Wee fir there, and honeysuckle over here. And the further you get into the corner, the poorer the growth. We moved this beech tree out of the corner and it has done a wee bit better. So, round to the front. I've let this, it's a rockery plant. I've let it grow. It's in the wrong place, but I like the wee flowers. And you might wonder, oh dear, you might wonder what these bits of wood are doing. You know, what is McLean thinking about? Well, there was a starling's nest in underneath the flashing, and how the devil do these birds, you know, push the flashing away and get themselves in? I just do not know. But they did. So we let the first brood of chicks fly, and I was quick to go up the ladder and make sure that there was nothing in the nest, and then I boarded it up, because the amount of, I mean, this was their runway, and right up there it was spattered, and if you parked a car up there or anywhere here, it was going to be spattered. There's the remains of a spattering. Where is it? No, I can't find it. I don't know. Where is it? Ah, here. So that's what the boards are, and I'll take them out in September or so, and if there's a heavy fall of rain, I'll take them out as well. But you see the starlings, they're resourceful, they're very, very clever birds, they're very, very messy birds and noisy birds, and they hung about, after I put the wood in there, they hung about for about a week to see if they could get back in again. There's oxalis in there somewhere, Antirrhinum primula, and big poppies that I've let grow again. Snow and summer, and American poppy. Remains of our bluebells. And this is our front lawn area, and stacks and stacks of dandelions in it. And this is our wee apple tree, and the blooming starlings were pulling the buds off that. You know, you wouldn't believe it. We put in this azalea, and it's done remarkably well. It's brilliant. And this is clematis, and it's brilliant as well. You know, this is its sort of second year. First year pretty poor, but second year's gone daft. And I dug up these wee sections here, and I put wildflower seeds in these troughs, and you know what? I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. I reckon Percy Pigeon and his chums were down, and they lifted every bloomin' seed that I had planted. So I got a lot of my wildflowers out the back and transplanted them around here, so we'll see how they do. And there's a few poppies in there too. Got these two, I've got a couple of pots, and I've put this stuff in. I couldn't even tell you what it is. That's variegated something or other. And it's good, and it flowers. Not the variegated one. Wee primula in there. Few nasturtiums, snow and summer. The azalea again. Hoping to train this clematis all around here, all around the fencing. Tried to plant a few poppies in here, but don't seem to have done too well. Can't even see them. Now there's one there. Now this one's doing better. So I might plant a few of the annuals around the front. There's an Antirrhinum again. This thing grows well. It looks like a leek, but there's nice wee purple flowers on the top. I don't know whether it's a leek or not. I leave it. So there's my American poppies, the orange ones coming out. Or Californian poppies, what am I talking about? And these here, this turns out nice as well. So, dead on. And there's the ubiquitous daisy, and it just propagates and grows anywhere. And there's a big weed. Oh, I don't want big weeds. Sorry, big weed. You're coming out and you're going through the fence. And I see more weeds in there, but I did plant sunflowers in here, but I can't see them. Oh yes, they're there. There's a few round the back. This is our ram tree on mountain ash. It is a good resource for the insects. This is a nice plant here. This is, I can't remember what it is. It's a Canothus. And it does well. It does well. There's a blooming nettle growing in the middle of it. Haven't seen that. And there's some foxglove. And just round the corner, there's a little pathway with plenty of stickly bickleys growing up. We have got more clematis, hoping to grow those over the wall. And there's the briar coming up. And I cut that hedge and the briars still come back. And that's the wall that I cut all the ivy off. And round the back as well. And there's the farm fields. So that's wee garden walk round. This is a typical Northern Ireland day. Slate grey skies, but you know, that's the way it goes. We have had some really pleasant days. We have. But then the next day, Sunday was absolutely superb. Monday was a washout. It really was a washout. So if you're ever coming to visit Belfast, be prepared for all kinds of situations. I was sorry for the cruise ship people in on Monday. You know, they got such a rotten day. If they'd have come a day early, they would have, it was wall-to-wall sunshine. But there you go. We call it liquid sunshine. And it's rather unpleasant. But see you soon. That's my wee garden walk round for May the 17th, Tuesday. Hope you're good where you are. And if you're posting on and you're a new poster, tell me where you come from, because I always love to hear.